Thank you so much, Sydney. Again, I'm Gabrielle. I'm with Advanced Home Care Services. We're a home care agency based in Framingham, but we service about 3/4 of Massachusetts. You do have my brochure, my business card, and a pen, as I mentioned, with a stylus on top. I think it's a very nice pen, but I'm not necessarily here to sell you anything. I'm here to just provide some information. I think this is one of the most interesting topics I present on, which I didn't think was going to be such a hit when we first started, but it's a topic you may not hear much about, but once you do hear about it, you realize how much it may resonate with you. So we're going to talk about solo aging, and that you may be a solo ager, but you're not alone. So, who is a solo ager? Does anybody have an idea? Yes. Sue.
What the general description is?
Yeah, what do you think the definition of a solo ager is? Do you have an idea?
Somebody who's home alone.
Somebody who's home alone? Anything else?
Somebody who's living with someone who has dementia.
Someone living with somebody with dementia? Anything else?
Living at home.
Living at home?
Yeah.
All of those are great. A solo ager, by a loose definition, is an older adult who lives alone without the support of family or loved ones nearby. And this could be a significant other, it could be children, it could be family or friends. And when we first thought of a solo ager, we originally thought of an older adult that just doesn't have children. Maybe they have a spouse, but no children. And as we developed this and spoke to other individuals, we realized that you can still be a solo ager with children. Because first, maybe they live in the state, but they don't come around too often. Or maybe they live in California and you live here. Exactly. So even with having children, you can still be a solo ager. You're still living alone. But why does this matter? Solo agers make up 12% of the 50-plus population. And they are 46% more likely to fear aging than older adults that have a support system in place. And solo aging can bring on some unique risks. Sue, what do you think some of those risks could be, or challenges? Falling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Illness.
Anything else?
Fire.
Being in a situation where you have trouble getting out if something were to happen? Absolutely. Anything else?
Someone, not having somebody who's close to you that can help you determine whether something is real or not. Like an email you might get that is this
Absolutely.
inflammatory or a phone call.
Absolutely.
Kind of, you interpret the outside world.
That's a great point. And it leads into this. So first, solo agers are at an increased risk for loneliness and isolation. And some of that could be because they don't have somebody to help them. They may feel afraid if they're getting a call or an email. Can I take this or not? Is it going to be a scam or not? It can also be because you just have a general loss of support networks. Maybe you do have a spouse or children, but your spouse passed away and your children moved far and they don't visit often. And maybe you don't have many friends around, so you have fewer people to connect with. You also may just have a general reduced social interaction. Maybe you do have friends, but you're experiencing mobility issues that make it harder for you to get to the Council on Aging or go out to see your friends. And then there's also health risks, and this can go with falls. So solo agers are at an increased risk for health issues. This can be heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. And there's also a stronger emotional impact. You may be more likely to experience stress, anxiety, or depression. So now we know the challenges of solo aging, but we don't want to get stuck in those challenges, right? 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 That's why you're here. And a lot of this stuff you already know, but it's hard to do. You may know it, but you don't put it into motion. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about overcoming the challenges. So, what are some things you think, Ellen, what do you think you could do?
I have my lifeline.
Perfect. So if you do fall,
I've used it a couple of times and had an ambulance come, but I have the whole system in place.
that's great.
Yeah.
See, my grandmother, she had a lifeline. She had a necklace.
Yeah.
She kept it on the other side of the house because she didn't want to lose it. But it's very good that you keep it on you, because if something were to happen,
Right.
it doesn't matter if it's on the other side of the house, right? So that's good. You have your lifeline. Anything else? Sue?
Come here.
Come here. Come to the Council on Aging, absolutely.
I think you need to reevaluate the interior of your house.
Perfect.
Whether or not it is appropriate for what your particular physical abilities are.
Maybe make sure you don't have loose rugs or wires, things like that. Clutter in the hallways, maybe.
Grab bars.
Grab bars, absolutely, to make it safer when you are home. Perfect. Those are all great answers. To go to coming to the Council on Aging, there's a couple things with this. The first thing is to just develop and maintain friendships in a social network. So the first part can be to nurture the relationships that you already have. Maybe you have friends around, but you're not calling them as often. You're not getting out for coffee or a walk with them. Maybe because it was winter time and you didn't want to go out, and now the flowers are blooming and you feel like you can go out. So first, it's important to nurture those already developed relationships. It's also important to get new friendships by coming to the Council on Aging. Maybe you're in a knitting group and you hear somebody on the side that you think you'd be friends with, but you don't speak with them. Talk with them, invite them for a cup of coffee or to knit something together or do a card game. Get new friendships. And this could be here at the Council on Aging. It could be joining other hobby groups or maybe book clubs. It can also be to embrace technology. How many of you have children that live in another state? Do you connect with them through maybe FaceTime or Zoom? How about for you? It's very important to embrace the technology. Sometimes it's scary when somebody calls and you don't know whether it's real or not, or an email, but it's important to connect through them. I'm sure maybe some of you have grandchildren that you can see online, so it's important to do that. It can even be just connecting on social media. And additionally, online, there are online forums for solo agers. So if you are maybe not keen to getting out of the house, online, you can connect with like-minded individuals that are in the same or similar situation as you. It's also important to participate in community organizations. It can be the Council on Aging, it can be a church or a faith-based community center. It's also important in those situations that you can volunteer. I've heard a lot of people that found it very encouraging to volunteer. I had one gentleman, I think he was a computer scientist or something. He was very educated. And in his retirement, he didn't have much of a purpose. But when he found out that he could volunteer and mentor younger individuals, he really felt a part of the community again. So volunteering is something maybe that you may like to do. It could even be in a gardening club or something like that. And then along with changing your living situation inside your house, something that's a great first step because maybe it's not safe, but you could also consider moving to a 55+ community where you're with individuals that are closer in your age bracket. There's also independent living communities, and assisted living communities when the time comes. And I always encourage that. I know I work for a home care company, but I've spent and worked in a lot of assisted living facilities, and you can have a lot of social interaction there that you may not get if you're living at home or in another community. And it may be something that works for you. And there's also seeking other professional services. This could be home care. Again, maybe you want to go out, you want to go to the church, you want to come to the Council on Aging, but it's a little bit more difficult for you, whether you just don't like to drive or you have a mobility issue, something of the sort. Home care can assist with that. Even if it's not all of the time, home care can help with transportation, and they can also help with companionship. Maybe you want to take a walk, but you feel a little unsteady and you just want somebody there. Home care is very flexible for your needs and can assist with, we can create a care plan dedicated to you and curated for you. So in summary, you don't have to feel lonely just because you're a solo ager. Solo agers can maintain independence by maintaining current social networks, creating new ones, attending community organizations, maybe that they went to in the past, or developing new interests. And also, home care can help if needed. Again, it can help with transportation, companionship, and even making sure that their mail is in order and that there's nothing missing, things like that. So that's the end of the presentation. I'm so sorry you in the back came in not so late, but I said it's a quick presentation. So you're at the very end, but as Sydney mentioned, I'll be here for a few minutes. So if you have questions right now, you could ask me, or if you'd prefer to ask them on the side, we can do that as well. I'm so happy that you all came out today. It's a beautiful day, so I do hope that you enjoy the weather a little bit. And hopefully I'll see you all again.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.